width, and height. There is no such thing as an instantaneous object. Its appearance and disappearance are measurable. It endures for the definite length of time. We can measure its lifespan without using the dimensions of length, width, and height. Time is definitely a fourth way of measuring an object. The more dimensions an object has, the more substantial and real it becomes. A straight line, which lies entirely in one dimension, acquires shape, mass, substance by the addition of dimensions. What new quality would time, the fourth dimension, give would make it just as vastly superior to solids as solids are to surfaces and surfaces are to lines. Time is a medium for changes in experience because all changes take time. The new quality is changeability. Observe that this is really good. This is really hard to understand, but I suggest you replay this video more than once if you don't understand it. Observe that if we bisect a solid, its cross-section will be a surface. By bisecting a surface, we obtain a line, and by bisecting a line, we get a point. This means that a point is but a cross-section of a line, which is in turn but a cross-section of a surface, which is in turn but a cross-section of a solid, which is in turn, if carried to its logical conclusion, but a cross-section of a four-dimensional object. We cannot avoid the interference that all three-dimensional objects are but cross-sections of four-dimensional bodies, which means when I meet you, I meet a cross-section of the four-dimensional you, the four-dimensional self that is not seen. To see the four-dimensional self, I must see every cross-section or moment of your life from birth to death. So in order for me to know you guys, or you to know me in the fourth dimension of space, you would have to know me or see me from the day I was born to the day that I died, all at one time, okay? So I made a cross-section of the four-dimensional of self that is not seen. To the four-dimensional self, I see every cross-section or moment of your life from birth to death and see them as all coexisting. My focus should take in the entire array of sensory impressions which you have experienced on Earth, plus those you might encounter. I should see them not in the order in which they were experienced by you, but as a present whole. Because change is the characteristic of the fourth dimension, I should see them in a state of flux as living and animated whole. If we have all this clearly fixed in our minds, what does it mean to us? Okay, so we understand all this. What does it mean to us? That's the bottom line here. What does this mean? Okay, it means that if we can move along time's length, we can see the future and alter it as we so desire. This world, which we think so solidly real, is a shadow out of which and beyond which we may at any time pass. It is an abstraction from a more fundamental and dimensionally larger world. A more dimensional world or fundamental abstract from a still more fundamental and dimensionally larger world, and so on to infinity. The absolute is unattainable by any means or analysis, no matter how many dimensions we add to the world. Man can prove the existence of a dimensionally larger world. So this is how you can prove it to you, okay? You prove it to yourself. Man can prove the existence of a dimensionally larger world, but simply by focusing his attention on an invisible state and imagining that he sees and feels it. If he remains concentrated in this state, his present environment will pass away and he will awaken in a dimensionally larger world where the object of his contemplation will be seen as a concrete objective reality. Intuitively, I feel that, were he to abstract his thoughts from his dimensionally larger world and retreat still further within his mind, he would again bring about an externalization of time. He would discover that every time he retreats into his inner mind and brings about an externalization of time, space becomes dimensionally larger, and he would therefore conclude that both time and space are serial or unreal, and that the drama of life is but climbing of a multitudinous dimensional time block. Scientists will one day explain why there is a serial universe or unreal universe. But in practice, how we use the serial universe is to change the future is much more important. To change the future, we need only concern ourselves with two worlds in the infinite series: the world we know by reason of our bodily organs and the world we perceive independently of our bodily organs. All right, guys, I really wanted to share this. This is out of this world. This is thinking fourth dimensionally, out of this world. One of my favorite chapters, actually my grandfather's first book from Neville Goddard, from his meetings that he picked up, thinking fourth dimensionally. This is really awesome. You need to really, I encourage you guys to really go over this chapter and re-listen to this many times. If you don't have this book, or if you can't read the book, or you just want to absorb the information, just replay this and just keep it in your mind. And if you guys have any questions or comments, and you'd like me reading more of this stuff, and I know this is a longer video, but I can do longer ones if you guys want when I'm doing readings like this. That way you can just kind of play them, and just completely submerge yourself and just absorb this information. That way we can get to that level of naturalness and change the conception of ourselves and really apply this. So, because the more you use it or the more you absorb the information, the easier it is to actually apply it into your life. And the more discipline that you will attain from it or get from it. And all right, guys, I love you. And tell me what you think about this. Give me a thumbs up. And I love you guys. And more videos coming. Thank you.